Like it or not, a lot of modern loudspeakers more closely resemble a Dyson air purifier than traditional HiFi. If it's not something akin to a SpaceX rocket launch or a Met Gala outfit, then it's probably one of those smart little scent diffusers that, yes, will serve up your favorite music at the drop of a prompt, but will also entirely fail to deliver any of it with a hint of detail or dynamic presence. Honestly, the whole experience is like the withered frame of Montgomery Burns just sadly limping across the room. So it's comforting to know that despite the market's overwhelming favor for iRobot, there are still some manufacturers out there making big box loudspeakers. And one of those rare stallions is none other than the award-winning Wharfedale Linton Heritage. Now, a 2-second Google search is going to reveal a slew of Linton reviews detailing both its impeccable sound quality and its impeccable build quality. So I'm not going to waste your time with another one here. Instead, I'm going to spend the rest of our time together building a case for why bigger is better, and why a big box loudspeaker like the Wharfedale Linton might just be the perfect loudspeaker for you. So let's get down to the what of it. Linton is a 3-way vented box stand mount loudspeaker featuring a frequency response of 40 Hz to 20 kHz and a sensitivity of 90 dB. They have a 6 ohm impedance and are recommended to be used with an amplifier that can deliver somewhere between 25 and 200 watts of power. Linton boasts a 1-inch or 25mm soft dome tweeter, a 5-inch or 125mm woven Kevlar mid-range driver, and a powerful 8-inch 200mm woven Kevlar bass driver, complemented by a rear-ported bass reflex design. It features rear heritage badges, jersey knit speaker grills, and complementary speaker stands in matching true timber finishes. Linton cabinets are constructed using a multi-layer sandwich method combined with real wood veneers, available in black oak, mahogany, and the beautiful walnut that you see in this video. And last but by no means least, Linton's big box cabinet dimensions are a whopping 720 by 440 by 460 millimeters, meaning these Wharfedale loudspeakers are by no means wallflowers. Let's be clear from the outset here, if you have a small listening space, this speaker ain't for you. If you want your loudspeaker to give you the afternoon weather report in Bahrain, this is not the speaker for you. And if aesthetic discretion is your first, last, and only priority when it comes to personal listening, this speaker is not for you. Oh, no. Linton is a big loudspeaker that likes its breathing space. It has zero inbuilt smart tech wizardry, and it's without a doubt the first thing that anyone is likely to see when they walk into your living or listening room. For good or for ill, and in all honesty, that's going to be entirely up to you, there is nothing discreet about Wharfedale's Linton. And I personally love it. Bigger loudspeakers often handle more power, and there are a few key reasons why it's potentially better to buy a loudspeaker that can handle more wattage now than you currently possess. One of those very reasons is higher listening volume. Speakers that can handle more power can produce higher volume levels without distortion, allowing you to enjoy your music at higher listening levels. The louder you go, the more air you'll move around the room, and the more you'll begin to feel that music. Now, the beauty of Linton is that you don't need a ton of power to get it to boogie. In fact, thanks to Linton's 90 dB of sensitivity rating with a recommended amplification range of just 25 to 200 watts of power, Linton is almost certain to sing with whatever you're currently running. Number 2 reason is better bass response. There are few things more satisfying than watching a big loudspeaker fill a room with sound, and much of that energy belongs to bass. Bass is what gives music its rhythm and power. It's also one of the main factors in creating a sense of space in a mix. as well as depth and definition to individual sounds and instruments. A loudspeaker that can handle more power will almost certainly enjoy a combination of bigger woofers responding to more powerful speaker drivers housed in a larger cabinet, and all of that aids bass. Wharfedale Linton has its very own 8-inch or 200mm woven Kevlar bass woofer, and as bass woofers go, this one is pretty big. But beyond its size, its woven Kevlar membrane also makes the speaker cone incredibly stiff and well damped. Stiff cones reduce distortion, they improve transient response, meaning that they can react quicker to the signals from your amplifier, and drumroll please, they handle more power, like 200 watts of potential power. And the improved damping properties of woven Kevlar help to reduce unwanted cone resonances that color the musical reproduction. Combine this with new high-powered motor systems mounted to die-cast chassis within a cabinet volume of 720 by 440 by 460 millimeters, and you get damn good bass. Not the lowest of lows, but highly detailed and wonderfully textured. Now, the third reason is future-proofing. Building the ultimate 2-channel hi-fi system is a journey. Very few people can afford to buy the ultimate system up front. So we often begin by purchasing modest equipment at affordable prices with the intention of upgrading over time. Not only is Linton a highly affordable big box loudspeaker, it can also grow with you over time. Linton's recommended amplification range of 25 to 200 watts gives you a lot of legroom to grow. Its 90 dB sensitivity rating combined with its 25 watt starting range means that it will boogie straight out of the box with very little amplification necessary. But that whopping 200 watts end range means that it'll sound better and better and better the more watts that you feed it. And that means that you don't need to buy new speakers should you one day decide to upgrade your amp and increase that power. Bigger speakers can create a more immersive listening experience with a greater sense of presence and realism. And one way they do this is by moving more air. Moving more air gives you the feeling of being in the room with the live instruments and the performers playing them. That can mean either the studio or the live stage. The sound they produce is richer and fuller, and you physically feel that sound. If a kick drum kicks, you can literally feel that kick. It hits you in the chest, helping to create a whole new emotional response to the listening experience. In addition to moving air, bigger speakers will often throw wider and deeper sound stages. Soundstage is the perceived spatial location of sounds in a room, and it's an important part of the overall listening experience because it helps to create the illusion of being in the room with the musicians. Now, the wider and deeper the soundstage, the more perceived spatial separation between instruments and vocalists. Not only that, but certain artists will record albums with soundstage in mind, producing audible effects that really kind of dance around the soundstage. Radiohead are brilliant at this, but the effect is just as special with many jazz, electronic, or even orchestral recordings too. And finally, bigger, more powerful speakers tend to handle greater dynamic ranges, resulting in better sound reproduction of both soft and loud passages of music. The term dynamic response often describes how accurately a speaker produces loud or soft sounds, as well as its ability to transition between the two. A good dynamic response means that you can hear all of the subtle details of your music, from quiet passages to loud passages, without a sense of sluggishness or distortion. The combination of moving more air around the room, creating a wider and deeper soundstage, and having greater dynamic response means the difference between just hearing your music and actually feeling your music. And Linton has all three of these in spades. Linton's classic big box design combined with its larger speaker drivers move a ton of air. It throws a massive soundstage and it has fantastic dynamic response. Since a lot of the physical limitations in speaker design can be reduced by increasing speaker size, bigger loudspeakers will often outperform their smaller counterparts. Sure, you have to have the space to accommodate them. Like I said from the outset, if you've got a small listening space, Linton is not the speaker for you. But if you do, you are in for a treat. Larger loudspeakers, like Wharfedale's Linton heritage, are bucking the trend when it comes to contemporary hi-fi. They're not subtle, they're not smart, and they sure as hell don't look anything like the villain from a Ridley Scott sci-fi. But what they do is reproduce your favorite music in stunning detail with spine-tingling effect. They're also gorgeous. Sound quality aside, Linton looks stunning. It's a big old 3-way loudspeaker in a gorgeous true timber veneer that very clearly states to anyone who just happens along them, like, whoa, that person's into music. I mean, how could they not, right? They come included with matching stands that are specifically designed to house your favorite 12-inch vinyl records. That same true timber veneer, a really snazzy Wharfedale badge at the bottom, and space enough for 50 or so of your favorite 33s. I mean, if that doesn't scream music enthusiast, I'm not really sure what does. So, if a big box loudspeaker like Wharfedale's Linton sounds better and it makes you look cooler, do you really want to buy those baby bookies? If you need more information on Wharfedale's incredible Linton heritage, head on over to avrevolution.com.au and let us know what you think. Is bigger actually better? We always love your responses. Just remember to play nice. Well, that's it from me. I'm Matt from AV Revolution. Until next time, happy listening.